Welcome back to the greenhouse, everybody. I thought that with my new equipment and my new editing techniques that I would revisit a few of my older videos, the ones that I recorded on my phone. So I'm going to start today with revisiting making a mushroom implosion pendant. Thank you for joining me back in the greenhouse once again. Like I said, I'm going to revisit making a mushroom pendant now that I have two high quality cameras, insanely expensive camera lenses, in this case two audio recorders, because I'm once again trying out a second audio recorder. You know, I've got my Zoom H1, so that's my my standby there. I've also got, what are you? The Sony PX470. I'm using the exact same type of lavalier microphone, exact same brand, model number. So we're going to see if this Sony can record anywhere near the quality of the Zoom H1. If it's worth a damn, I'll let you know at the end of the video, and I'll link to it. I'll link to it in the description. I'm also trying out a couple of other new things, like I'm recording without music in the background. I may end up putting music in the background of the video. Hopefully it won't drive me too insane to not have music playing while I'm recording the video, but I feel like it's going to give me more editing options not to have music playing in the background. So we're going to tie on a cold one, in this case not as cold as I would like. I've been out here for a while, and see where it takes us. So I got a new flavor from Vape Wild today. It's called White Bronco. And I found out that it uses my orange juice recipe. It's an orange juice and cream thing. I'm liking it quite a bit. It's my orange juice recipe, but Sam made the rest of it. You know, put together the cream and all that stuff. Hopefully I can get a link from Vape Wild so that I can put a link in the description, in which case it will be available for you to click on and purchase. Because it is pretty tasty, if I do say so myself without tooting my horn too much. So first thing we do is we decide on a center color for the mushroom. We're basically going to take some color, we're going to pull a stringer, and we are going to ram it into some molten hot glass, and it will make a mushroom. And I'm thinking we're going to want some kind of, I think I want an amber purple. So amber purple is going to make the mushroom. Alright, so step one, we need to pull a stringer. Now the stringer needs to be thicker than normal stringers that I pull, and it helps if it's not too awfully long. So we pull the stringer that's not too awfully long and is a little extra thick, and round it on the end. It helps to round it on the end. So we're going to get a nice, decent little blob of glass on the end of this rod that I believe is double amber purple. Although I have numerous amber purples, so I'm not 100% on that. So we give it the ability to be a little thicker there. We don't pull it out as far as fast, giving us a thicker stringer. And we try to make it nice and even there. Helps to have a little nubbin on the end, a little rounded over bob. Definitely helps. And different strike levels when you start. That helps too. And now we're going to take us, in this case, I'm going to use 20mm clear rod. I did pick up quite a bit of this out at HGR. That apparently was some surplus in Mylan Townsend's barn that they super had a sale on. They decided to sell this stuff for like $4 a rod. It was insane. Sadly, I didn't have that much money at the time, so I only bought like 10 or 20 of them. I don't remember. But, you know, $4 a pop, you can't really go wrong. So we are going to heat up and even out, because you notice how I left it a little cockeyed the last time I used this rod. We might even go ahead and take the big fire for this. Speed things up a little. Helps to marver it out to even it up faster. See, now we're generally pretty even, so we can work on melting it for the push. Hopefully I will remember to zoom this in for the push, and hopefully I don't fuck it up and have to do several takes on this. But I suppose we'll find out pretty quick, won't we? Warm the stringer up a little. Don't want it to melt, but you want to warm it up. Take your nice hot blob of glass that you got going on already. And we're going to go ahead and push this guy in. Now see, when the rod or when the stringer hits the not so melted parts of the glass is when it starts to create the mushroom cap. I don't know how well I can see that in the video, or if we can see it in the video at all, but we do what we can. No point in having that on anymore. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. A little ball on the end. And then we melt the rest of it back down, or back in, so that it all collapses on itself. Go ahead and close that guy up. So there, now we have a mushroom trapped inside this glass. Now we are going to even it out because it's a little lumpy, which I'm not necessarily going to do with that. Now you don't want to really marver it at this point because you don't want it to distort the mushroom. So we're going to let gravity do all the work. So now we're pretty evened out. We're going to let it solidify a little for the next step. So now we're going to give it a backing. Right. I've got here what I call my trash can frit. Trash can frit is a fancy way to say that it's all the little bits of frit that I have left over from doing other shit that I don't want to throw away because it's not an insignificant amount of frit. But I mix my frits a lot, so I can't put them back in the original jars. So we're going to heat this enough to stick some of this trash can frit. But we're going to do it with precision as much as possible because we only want it to stick to certain spots. So this gives us a nice backing. However, I kind of missed a spot. I need to go a little higher with the frit. I need to get up here. Now we're going to melt in the frit. And some of this frit fumes, so it will give it a little extra on its backing. Of course, we don't let it get out of hand. So now that we've got the frit melted in all nice, we got a nice little backing going for our mushroom. We get to punty up to it and stretch it out and create a loop for it. So we're going to use the other side of the rod that we pulled the stringer on. We're just going to set that there for a minute. It'll be okay as long as we don't let it sit too long. Alright, so now we punty up to it. A nice cold seal. It's right on the bottom. And we take a nice tight flame. In this case, I'm actually going to use the big flame. You don't need to. But the nice thing about a Mirage is I can make the outer flame tight as hell too. So we're going to heat up right here, right above the mushroom, so that we can pull it out and create a loop with it. So there, we take it, we pull it out, we stick it. That gives us a loop. And now you see why my piece was a little deformed when I started with it earlier. So we're going to take a little bit of this off. We don't, honestly, we don't even need that big flame anymore. So we can take our tweezers and we pull this little bit extra off here. We don't need it. Maybe a little more. Or maybe that's good. And then we're going to take a little reamer. Something like this guy. And we round it out. And we make sure it's all melted in good. We gotta even it out. You know, make sure it hangs right. Giggity. So that loop didn't want to be quite so cooperative with me. Normally these take about 5 minutes apiece. So, that's it. Mushroom pendant goes on a chain or a cord. I like that color. It's got some nice purple to it. Hopefully we'll think to zoom into that. So now, all that's left is to bust it off and then melt in the little spot at the bottom where we broke off the puntee. And that's it. And then let that solidify enough to put it in the kiln. There we go. Ta-da! Hopefully I'll have the forethought to, take some video of that coming out. Otherwise, hopefully my close-up will be good enough for me to make a thumbnail. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Now you know how to make a mushroom pendant. Hopefully you'll take it and get even better than me, because it's not really my strongest suit. I'm more of a pipe guy who's trying to branch out into other things. But thank you for joining me on this journey as we all learn some shit. So, I apologize that I'm filming this the way that I am because I forgot to actually film this part for the video, and now that I'm in editing, I realize, hey wait, that pendant is still in the kiln, so I should probably go pull it out for the sake of my video. But it's really humid and the camera lens keeps fogging up. So, we're just going to reach in here. And we're going to grab this pendant right here, and we're going to take a good look at it. So, pendant turned out really cool. That Sony audio recorder actually turned out to be pretty solid, so that was nice. So this and lots of other stuff is available on my website, markoftheraven.com. And if you liked what you see at all, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like buttons and such and such. Thanks.